What's up, all my Ewoks, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Obi-Wan Kenobi poster that Disney has officially dropped. As you guys can see up here on the screen, I have the official Disney Twitter account with the Obi-Wan Kenobi poster up front and center. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, then you probably don't know this, and if you guys have been subscribed for a while, then welcome back. And as you know, I've been covering this topic ever since news began dropping about it, and if you guys, are new, then you guys have probably missed that, so I will link all of those videos that I've done talking about this topic down below in the description of this video, as well as everything else I'm going to show you in this video will also be linked down in the description, so check that out once this video is done if you want to go look into it further yourself. And also, guys, just make sure if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all. That way you actually get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And if you have been subscribed for a while, make sure that you're still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people every single day. Now, let's dive into this poster. Let me pull this up. All right, load, load, load. There we go. So, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just, in the middle of the desert, of the dune sea of Tatooine. And, we have, it kind of looks like Thanos snappy in a way. I get that they're trying to do sand, but if you actually look in... Here, I grabbed this and just pulled this into Photoshop real fast, so that way I could zoom in for you guys, because it was a little hard to do that up with it on Twitter. So if you actually look at the logo, they have it trying to emulate, like, as if sand is, this is old logo and it's getting desecrated by the sands of Tatooine, and it's going to sprinkle off into the distance like the wind. And it just kind of reminded me of Thanos snap. And now that Disney is owns both Marvel and Star Wars, I'm like, all right, they're kind of mixing resources. But so let's zoom in and look at Obi-Wan a little bit here. So now, as you guys can see, he's got like just a typical kind of t-shirt. He's got this little pack. He's obviously got his lightsaber, some just regular boots, some brown pants, and his, just typical Ewan McGregor longer hair and beard. So he's lost, the typical Jedi robes, or else we would see them, kind of going like this, and you'd see that kind of like the wrapping around, like we see him in, all of the Star Wars movies where, he's wearing something that's not a t-shirt. So just looking at this, I'm like, all right, now normally this is something that would excite me, but I've watched Disney Star Wars, and that's nothing, in my opinion, to get excited about. And so I'm looking at this, and all I can think about is how similar this looks to Jake Skywalker from The Last Jedi, and it just makes me sad. I really, 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 really hope that they don't do that to Obi-Wan. And I mean, but with everything I've seen from Star Wars, it is very, it's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt with everything that we've seen, especially with the Mando, or excuse me, not Mando. It basically was another Mando episode, but with the Book of Boba Fett season finale. Now, one thing that I have a big problem with this poster is, what planet are we on? Oh yeah, that's right, we are on Tatooine. So why in the absolute hell do we have all of these clouds? I'm sorry, but this is a desert planet, and they have to have moisture farming, with the little things that go in the ground that Luke and his uncle, they farm the moisture that's deep within the earth. All right, so why the fuck would we need these when you could just get it from the air? Every single time you see Star Wars, there's not a single cloud in the sky above a desert. Like, have you ever been to a desert? Like, give me a freaking break, man. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, I get it. They need to like just break. They need to, because it's dark down here, so they need it to be equal, so that way there's like this little batch of light, and so that way it draws your eye in, and so it's like compositional things. Yeah, I get it. I went to art school. I have a degree in art. But so let me just do this real fast, because yeah, like I said, guys, I have a degree in art. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun how you have those kind of things? You go to school, you pay, you go to college, you pay for stuff like that. All right. So just right now, just doing that, can you guys see how it already looks a little bit more like Tatooine? I don't know if they want it to be like evening. Okay, if it's evening, then let's get a little bit of violet like in the sky. So there we go. All right, well, actually it would be the opposite. It would be the violets down here and stuff. But I don't know why they have, I mean, that would be cool. We just can get the horizon. get all that. Let's get a little bit more reds in here. Get some hues. Sorry, I'm arting out. I usually don't do this in in videos and stuff. But okay, we get that. And I mean, that would have been cool. And you can have like the bright. There you go. There's Obi-Wan. And you could have done like the whole binary sunset kind of thing. For whatever reason, they didn't though. And I don't know why. Maybe they just didn't want it to look too much like Luke. But even that, I feel like you can add a little bit more pops of color and have it still be interesting. That's just my opinion on that. And this is a really shitty, really quick paint over. All right, so here I just literally went in and I just got, you know, a little photo of a sunset with, you know, this kind of color transition. And then I went into an adjustment layer, as you guys can see, like just, you know, right here with multiply, or I can go in with like overlay, soft light. As you guys can see, if you're not familiar with Photoshop, it's a really fun tool, and this is what a lot of artists use. So let's just go with color burn, because what they were trying to do was, I can tell, to get this like dark. You see how it's, you know, basically pure black in the bottom, and that's why, you know, they went with, you know, this dark clouds. Now, I get that they kind of want it to be muted, which, I mean, you can do that with an adjustment layer, and so let me do that right now. So there, I just turned down the saturation. And again, I can go in and kind of try to make this darker, but I think you guys all see what I mean here. Like, it just doesn't make sense to have those clouds there, but that's just my opinion on this poster. Now, I did a little bit more tweaking with it, as you guys can see up here. So I actually went in and tried to, you know, kind of make it match a sunset-esque setting, because that's what it looks like they're going for. It doesn't look like they're going for, you know, sunrise. It looks more like a sunset. And so I added a little bit of those colors in, and then went a little bit with the stars. Then I brought it back, just because I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. Now, again, this is just my little few minutes going into just doing a really, really bad paint over in Photoshop just to get rid of those clouds. And, you know, it's not exactly, in my opinion, my best work by any means, but just look at the difference. You know, I mean, I get it. They're trying to, like, squeeze him in with the clouds, trying to frame it, but I just don't think that you need to do that. Like, I honestly think he stands out more like this, in my opinion, than, you know, with these big clouds, because then it's like, okay, my eyes go like right here, which is supposed to, then it's like with this big black expanse, and then it goes down here. So I don't know what they're trying to do. Whereas with this, I feel like you look immediately at Obi-Wan, because I enhanced, you know, the values between him and, you know, the sun, so like the contrast between him, and then so it's like you look at him immediately, and then it's Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus, So I think that's what you probably should have done, instead of randomly adding in clouds, which really do not belong on Tatooine at all. But that's just my opinion as a Star Wars fan. Alright, so moving on from the poster, this popped up on my feed, and so this is, you know, what we know about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series so far. Takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. The rematch of the century will happen between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Concept art showed Darth Vader marching on Jedi Temple. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a flashback scene. And maybe they'll actually refilm it with Hayden, even though he's, you know, older now, but who knows. Scenes will be filmed with Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker together. Now, I sincerely hope that this is like a Force vision type of thing. Like, this is my theory, and I've said this every single time I've done a video talking about this. The only way I think this can work without breaking, well, I mean, they don't even care about canon anymore, but without breaking the impact that it has of them facing off with one another in A New Hope, is if Obi-Wan is meditating and he's trying to come to terms with his guilt, because the last time we saw Obi-Wan with Anakin, he said, "I have failed you, Anakin." That was what he said to him the last time he saw him, and that's a very different person than he is in the beginning of A New Hope. He's obviously come to terms with it. He knows that, you know, Vader is evil, and he has kind of a different perspective on the situation than he did at Revenge of the Sith. So obviously something happened in those years of him, you know, being on Tatooine watching over Luke. So if Obi-Wan is meditating. He's getting trained by Qui-Gon because that was the last thing that Yoda said to him. You know, more training you have with Qui-Gon. You know, he's returned from the nether realms of the Force to teach you. And so maybe he's meditating and Qui-Gon's ghost is there and he is mentally projecting what he thinks is his mental projection of Anakin. And, you know, him coming to terms with that, it wasn't his fault. The Emperor was, you know, the one that was manipulating Anakin. And at a certain point, there was really nothing Obi-Wan could do because he did everything that he freaking could. And so he's mentally, you know, fighting with what he thinks is a mental projection of Vader. Whereas Anakin, he's now Darth Vader and he's, you know, on his ship and he is in his little Darth Vader chamber and he's, you know, meditating as well. But instead of doing what Obi-Wan is doing, which is looking for peace, he's giving in to his hatred because, you know, he lost Padme. Everyone that he ever knowed has died except for the freaking Emperor, except for Palpatine. And so he's, you know, projecting, doing this mental projection of everyone that, you know, he hated, and he has to give in to this hatred. Or maybe he didn't hate, but now he's going to let himself hate them, and, you know, he's going to only see the wrong things that he did, because if he doesn't, you know, if he acknowledges that what he did is wrong, which he does in Return of the Jedi, and that's, you know, that's one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars, is when he tells Luke, no, it's too late for me, son, because he knows that everything that he did is wrong. So the only way he can live and get through every single day is by giving in to his hate and not taking responsibility for his actions and blaming it on everyone and going, you know, completely into the dark side. So if he's sitting there meditating, having a mental projection of Obi-Wan and trying to, you know, blame everything on Obi-Wan, you know, he's holding me back, all of that kind of stuff. And so they're both having a mental projection of each other, but since they're, you know, master and apprentice, they have a Jedi bond, which is a very common trope within Star Wars for people that don't know. You know, go look at Revan and Bastila. Go look at Kreia and the Exile. I mean, this is a really common thing where, you know, the master and apprentice share, you know, a Force bond. And so they both have their own mental projections. They don't know that it's actually the other person, that they're actually interacting with each other. And so Obi-Wan fights Anakin and he beats him, and he comes to terms with the fact that he's not the one to blame. He did everything he possibly could, and he can be at peace now with, you know, what he did, knowing that he did everything that he could, and there's just some things that you can't stop. And Anakin, you know, the opposite happens. He gives into his hate. In his mind, he beats Obi-Wan. And, you know, he's like, yes, I've completely given in to the dark side now. I have no attachments. And he doesn't until years later when he hears a certain Skywalker name come up. And so it would be, you know, cool to see the same fight with two different endings, and, you know, them both walk away with, you know, two different resolutions to their, you know, problems. And so that way, you know, we can see that character arc and that character development. So because they're obviously both very different people that they were in the Revenge of the Sith ending than they were when they actually reunite in person in A New Hope. So that's what I think. That's the only way that it can work. And you can be as critical of that as you want. That's just, you know, my opinion on this matter. So Jedi Hunters will appear. Yay! Starts on Tatooine and goes on a rock and rollin' adventure that includes a watery planet. Oh, yay, are they going to go to Camino or Alderaan? All right, so let's take a look at the IMDb page for this show. So I was looking at it because some of the things that were on this prediction page, I was like, why did they leave out that Princess Leia isn't going to be in it? Because that's kind of a big one. So just looking at it, it's like, all right, Hayden Christensen's going to be in 6 episodes. Ewan McGregor is going to be in 6 episodes. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are going to be 6 episodes. That makes sense. I don't know why this dude... I don't even know how he became famous. He was on some, Silicon Valley show or something, I think. And now I feel like he's in everything. I don't know why. But it's like, okay, we have a bunch of people that are going to be in this. A bunch of them are in, like, all 6 episodes. So maybe they're going to be important characters. But I don't see Leia on this at all. And then when you go to, you know, the official cast and crew, you don't see anyone for Leia. But they did announce that Leia was going to be in this show. And I did a video on this 6 months ago about them, you know, casting this little girl to be young Princess Leia. And so they're going to have young little Luke, and they're going to have young little Leia. And they still haven't announced who they cast for Luke yet. But, I mean, if you're going to be showing Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, and you got, you know, the OG chick that played Aunt Beru to come back from the prequels, not the OG chick. The prequel Aunt Beru is coming back to reprise her role. So it's like Luke's not on here, Leia's not on here. Maybe they're trying to spoil it, which doesn't make sense considering they announced who they cast as Leia 6 months ago. So I don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, based on this poster and based on, you know, what we know so far with certain things that's come out, those are, you know, my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think about this entire situation. Did you guys like my little adjustment to the poster? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, go ahead and smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. And if you haven't already, maybe take a second, smash the subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all. That way you get notifications when I do videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching my channel and my content. And if you would like to support me further, go ahead and check out my Etsy, The Art of Anna TSWG, where I sell prints of my original oil paintings and drawings. I have a variety of characters, from landscapes to horror villains to Star Wars characters, DC and Marvel. So go check that out, and everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.